Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite para quem tá chegando aí no vídeo. Muito provavelmente para quem tá assistindo gravado mais uma vez. Hoje é dia de Divinity Original Sim. A gente vai dar continuidade à jornada, agora com um pouquinho mais de voz, né? E acho que é isso aqui pra introdução. Vamos continuar o jogo aqui. Eu nem lembro exatamente onde eu tava. Acho que eu tava no. Tava praticamente na introdução do jogo. Era. Tinha desembarcado numa praia buscando umas informações, não lembro exatamente da história. E a gente explorou uma caverna no do outro jogo, da outra partida. Chegamos aqui onde tinha uma concha que a gente jogou ela pro mar. E acho que tinha uma ponte que a gente tinha que explorar. Isso, vamos ver aqui o que acontece. Deixa eu lembrar aqui os comandos. Olha. Dá pra ter um comando aqui, eu não sabia dessa opção. Eu troco de personagem. Aqui eu uso as opções. Tá, e o mapa eu vejo onde? Aqui. Então a gente tinha explorado essa parte aqui. Aqui tinha mais ou menos uma caverna, se não me engano. Acho que é aqui provavelmente. A gente acabou saindo por aqui. E aqui nessa ponte tinham dois guardas. Ficaram de levar a gente pra torre de um mago, se não me engano. Então vamos voltar lá e ver o que acontece. Poxa, tem vários tipos de conchas. E os guarda-bebo. Não dá pra falar com eles. Parece que não. Aqui não tem mais nada. As caixinhas, vamos ver se tem algum item ali. É um típico RPG clássico em que você explora tudo, provavelmente. Em todo cantinho tem um item, por exemplo aqui. E acho que muitos devem ser meio inúteis, mas eu não conheço o que cada um faz, vou pegar tudo aqui. Então, a exploração deve ser bem importante nesse jogo aqui. Acho que os guardas vão ficar me seguindo. Ó. Achei bem bacana desse jogo até então. Nossa, o que aconteceu aqui? Tomate, vamos pegar um tomate. O que eu achei bem bacana desse jogo é o fato de que você tem uma exploração bem aberta, como alguns jogos de ação até. Notadamente o Diablo é um jogo que tem uma visão bem parecida. Mas as lutas são, assim como dá pra ver aqui, são bem estratégicas, né? Elas não são tão ação. E mistura dois jogos que eu gosto bastante, que é a estratégia e o RPG, né? Vamos ver aqui o que a gente pode fazer. Nossa, no Diablo esses orcs são muito parecidos com os orcs do Warcraft, né? Que é feito pela mesma empresa que criou o Diablo. Tem um cultista aqui. Estilo inimigo também. Tem outros inimigos. Tem um orc aqui que morreu, que acho que estava invadindo a praia. Beleza, só ali. Vamos ver o que eu posso fazer aqui com ela. Seria legal dar uma flechada aqui nos caras já, né? Acho que não vai rolar. Será que eu consigo aproveitar aqui o máximo de... O que será que eu uso pra atacar? 5 pontos. Consigo andar até aqui. Um pouco mais perto, né? A gente ataca os caras ali.
I must focus.
Nossa, errou. Que ruim. Ué? Aqui tem uns caras... Meu fantasma aqui. Não consigo visualizar, né? Ele fica meio sombreado aqui. Mas eu sei que tem um cara aqui. Bem. Acho que não tem muito jeito. O jeito da porrada desse cara é aqui perto, né? Consigo chegar aqui? Consigo. Bom. Consigo usar algum outro poder? Tinha que ter usado antes. Nossa, isso aqui se eu conseguir vai ser muito legal. Pô, mas aqui eu vou me matar, velho. Quero ver se eu consigo um pouquinho mais. Aqui ficou ótimo.
Easy to make, hard to escape.
Usar um ambiente a nosso favor, né? Dá um barril lá pra explodir tudo. É, aquele arco ali pelo visto já era, né? Toma essa, ataque de oportunidade, mané. Eu vou ficar tudo no fogo. Aqui a gente usa um poderzinho ninja. Posso andar um pouquinho. Caraca. Não posso andar nada, na verdade. Não dá pra cá. Pra aqui nada. Nossa, tinha um cara do lado ali, nem esqueci dele. A primeira jogada foi legal, mas essa me sacaneou. Quero passar no fogo. Posso chegar ali. Tô lá na grade aqui. Ah, me queimei, mané. O que tem aqui? Seleção. Óleo. Não, tem que atacar mesmo. Atacar uso quantos? 5. Deve ter desse tiro.
Is its own deliverance.
Essa aqui é melhor ficar parado. Droga. Não, lá, descer de golpe nesse cara aqui. Ô, lasqueira. Acabei lá me ferrando da mesma forma que da outra vez. Só que da outra vez foi com o vilão.
Those orcs had a human commander. How very curious and disquieting.
Where are Bibius and Junius? Didn't they hear the fight?
Até que com os bonequinhos ali foi fácil essa luta, hein? Ajudou bastante. Vou pegar os baús aqui. Os corpos também.
I like you much better with your guts on the floor.
Filthy beasts! I'll kill the last one of you!
Deixa eu ver se tem entre nesses corpos aqui. Não. Eu marco os caras aqui. Dá pra entrar. Tem uma coisa escondida aqui na ponta da ilha. Realmente jogo de RPG adora esconder coisa aqui nas pontas. Mas não dá nem pra ir pra lá, então. Não. Essas caixinhas aqui no canto. A linha. Vai servir pra alguma coisa eventualmente. Vou seguir pra cidade agora. Que isso, um gato? Enquanto isso, eu não sei se ajuda. Mas é bom eu me curando aqui. Outro personagem. Se vocês vão se curar sozinho ou não, acho que não. Enquanto isso, deixa os especial aqui fora de batalha que vai recuperando o poder
What's all
deles.
this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel.
Será que esse é o mago?
Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. Source hunters have arrived in Sicil.
Sai-se.
You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Ahu, at your service. It was I who requested your presence in this troubled city.
Acho que a reação é a mesma do personagem ali. E convocado por um gato?
So you were, and so you weren't. Behold, there we are. Meet my other half, Hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks and guile, but I assure you my plea is an earnest one. So, now that the cat is out of the bag, let us turn to the matter of Councillor Jake's murder. It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'd bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead.
A gente tem que investigar um crime. Ele falou que ele acredita que foi efeito de feitiçaria. Só que o capitão não concorda com isso. Vou perguntar aqui, se der, não demora muito, vou explorar todas as opções. Hoje encontramos a cena do crime.
Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek.
Tá, foi assassinado numa estalagem e precisa da autorização do capitão. Perguntar quais são
So
os
there are,
suspeitos.
or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it his wife did the deed, but to be frank, I have my doubts. She seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't see her magic extend beyond a frolicsome look and wink.
único suspeito é a esposa dele, mas segundo o bicho, ela deveria ser uma feiticeira que não corresponde muito.
Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find poor Jake's widow.
Ela tá em guarda na própria loja dela. Custódia, digamos assim. Esse é um assunto.
A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like a kitten leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts. A shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who behaves a bit strangely nowadays. I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It'd be foolish to dismiss such a curious event out of hand. Ah, the undead. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years now. And for 2 years the stalemate between them and the living has been dragging on at a weary pace indeed. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused ballistae, they'd have gotten the better of us by now. Someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, that searching for them is like searching for a single louse in a lion's mane.
Bem, a primeira pergunta foi sobre o... Não, essa daqui foi sobre o... A primeira pergunta... Essa daqui foi sobre o... A questão dos mortos-vivos, que eles estão tendo problema. Eu já não lembro o que foi. Agora eu vou perguntar sobre a questão dos orcs.
Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The orc siege is yet another hairball stuck in this city's already choking throat, and it shows no signs of abating. We've cordoned off the western beach where most orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure what they're doing here. There's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves with an unfavorable reputation. Maybe they're after some pirate's treasure, the fools.
Falou que tá tendo problema com orcs. Outra pergunta eu tinha falado sobre... Na verdade eu tinha comentado com ele sobre o fato dos orcs serem liderados por um humano, que é realmente estranho. E ele comentou que seria como um gato liderando uma cateia de lobos. Vamos ver agora o que ela vai falar sobre o
But that's
gato.
not a trick. It's a blessing. Or does it surprise you that I enjoy taking a feline guise? Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To tread upon the realm of instinct. Even articulate speech, perhaps humanity's greatest asset, cannot give expression to something so inextricably innate. To be out in the night, to stalk on silent paws and hunt with only the moon as your witness. You couldn't possibly imagine the thrill. But of course it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs. This I freely admit. Let's just say I have found a way to enjoy the best of 2 worlds. I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter, and I'm certain we have a lot more to talk about. Feel free to visit me whenever you want. I've set up a workshop in the Legion's headquarters. Once you're there, just take the stairs, but do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very far in your investigation without speaking to the de facto leader of Sicil. And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu and good luck. May your enemies prove to be mere mice, and you the dauntless mouser.
Sex, undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Ahu mentioned?
Basicamente, o objetivo principal parece ser falar com o líder aqui da guarda da cidade.
We're gonna need more than a few buckets to save her. The ship's blazing ever higher. We're gonna need more than a few buckets.
We need more help or she's lost.
Oh, sacanagem. Tentei usar o negócio pra apagar o fogo e não deu certo. A cara desse barco aqui parece que eles não são muito bons de cuidar dos barcos.
Ahoy, sailor! Are you enjoying the fresh winds of Sicile?
Ele basicamente falou ali na dica que eu posso trocar com todos os personagens apertando Y.
Those orcs must be out of their barbarous... I'll tell you, the only time I'd consider waging a suicide... Name's Conrad. Cargo trader, sea captain, an expert in all things not...
Aparentemente, cara, o capitão.
Shores? Here? In Sicile? Bah! Of all the cursed hunks of rock madness! Thought we were done with those swampy uglies afore.
From the mainland.
Oh, nothing new, sir. Zombies, skeletons...
One of the orcs are sending another fleet.
Opa, tem um baú aqui. Não tem não.
Really? The greatest warriors in Rivellon can't cross a rope?
What if the orcs are sending another fleet?
We're gonna need more than a few buckets to save her.
É sério que eu não consigo atravessar uma corda, mano. Tá de sacanagem.
One of the orcs are sending another fleet.
É que eu não consigo passar com esse poder aqui. Será que eu consigo? Não. Depois eu descubro como, por favor.
We need more help or she's lost.
One of the orcs are sending another fleet.
Bom, peguei uma vara de pesca. Agora que eu vi, tem os marcadores aqui no mapa onde eu vou usar. Caverna, cima do creme, esperado. Vamos falar lá com o cara. Tem um portal aqui.
I can't even smell the sea air over this rock.
Opa, tem um baú ali embaixo, hein? Como será que eu chego ali? Não tenho a menor ideia. Vou ao sapão ali, talvez por uma outra parte do mapa.
Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I borrowed one of these fish, would you?
Borrow indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear! I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times, but what choice have I got now? If it's steal or starve, I'll choose steal. Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough, before these lean times around Sicil began. Still, that doesn't waive a man's need to eat, you know. So what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
That merchant has to eat too, you know. Leave the fish alone.
Heavenly herring! Delicious dogfish! Yours for a scrap of gold each!
Yes, you know what they say about giving a man a fish? This man should learn to stand on his own 2 feet.
I suppose you've got a point. Another day, another rumbling belly. Never fed a hungry man, you know.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Decisões morais. Tem um bolo de água aqui.
Livestock's got twice the sense and thrice the soul of the average human, I say.
Eu não consigo levantar.
Good day to you.
That's the 7 we've secured the perimeter.
Exatamente aqui que eu quero vir nesse momento. Nossa, as pedaços estão meio bugadas aqui no mapa. Tem um outro teletransporte ali. Dá a volta por aqui. Vamos lá. jogo é bem detalhado, pelo menos. A cidade é bem extensa. Jogos de RPG, às vezes a cidade é só 2 casinhas e acabou. Parece ter bastante recurso de exploração. Vamos ver mais pra frente como fica.
The face furious. She bit me in the face.
Sorry, sir.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most courageous.
Nossa, extra aquilo ali. Esses baús estão vermelhos, espero que não dê ruim de eu ter aberto eles. Oh, um mago aqui. Dá pra trocar uns bagulho com ele. Nossa, posso bater nele. Interessante. Estrelinha lá em cima indica a atitude do vendedor em relação a mim. Então, quanto maior aquela estrela, melhor são os preços. Mas de verdade, não tenho dinheiro pra muita coisa. Não sei o que vender. Não sei o que é bom manter. Dá pra barganhar. Reparar. Essa é a opção.
Can't be too careful among wizards, my friend. Source Hunter, welcome, welcome.
Aqui com líder aqui das coisas. Cidade.
What have we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well,
Já não foi muito com a cara, hein?
do what you must in Sicil, but don't make waves and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs, you hear? I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Sicil. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. For I fear it may well be but a matter of time before the undead undo all my soldiers and turn them into drivelling hordes of their own misshapen number. Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother. But he just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians. They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town, not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined. But report back to me the moment you discover something out of the ordinary. The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you!
O cara não parece muito feliz de me ver. Mas pelo menos deixa eu continuar investigando. Parece suspeito.
Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him.
Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. There is that. But that doesn't suffice as evidence, wouldn't you say? Or do source hunters rely on hearsay alone, perhaps? That certainly would explain some of the cock-ups you lot have made in the past. What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. The Legion relies on reason, see? Not idle superstition.
Beleza. Tem localização que importa. Os baús aqui eu não posso abrir nenhum. Tem pra baixo.
Quiet! No talking to these scoundrels.
Oh, thank you to take a step in another direction. This is the Legion treasure room, and you've no business bothering.
Sala do ouro. Interessante. Talvez mais pra frente. Vamos investigar a cena do crime. Onde fica? Portal aqui, vamos habilitar ele. A gente vai pra cena do crime.
I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. Hey, who's that then? Come on, stand where my good eye can see you.
Easy, Tull. That's the source hunter you're talking to.
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough, but she's no more than a wild animal. We got reports of a strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her crouched behind a tree, taking aim at a fat old rat trotting along the city walls. I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what, and the beast startled like a wild cat and lunged right at me.
Bit Tullia right in the face, she did. It wasn't pretty, and now it's got a chunk ripped off it to boot.
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire in the cohort that'll have you if I go rabid.
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite Tully's moaning. We can't keep her here forever, but we can't well send her into the wilds again, can we?
Perhaps it'd be worth taking this stranger under our wing. She'll likely come in handy if we can trust her to watch our backs.
That's a mighty big if. We can't have one of our team wandering off into the wilds when we need her to be watching our backs.
Muito bizarro ficar discutindo comigo mesmo.
Can't say I'm surprised. You wouldn't want an untamed thing like that sleeping next to you at night. Now it's for us to decide what to do with her, of course.
If I've got my say, we'll take her into the woods and put her down.
Puxa, posso
Say,
tentar.
Source Hunter, do you reckon the vendor's got any large, rather large...
Well, that's to...
Perhaps it'd be worth taking this...
After all,
Well, that's a relief, ain't it? We found a good home for her after all, Tull.
Heed me, Source Hunter. She's not good for anything more than cannon fodder. And don't turn your back on her when she's got that bow within arm's reach.
Source Hunter. I have heard tales both grand and terrible about the world of humans. I myself was caged one moment and freed the next by our kind. In Home Forest, every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees.
Com seres humanos nunca é previsível, de verdade.
It is strange to stand with one foot in the forest and the other in the city, Source Hunter. I am glad that now I have you standing beside me. Even if one burns hot while the other wheezes cold. Perhaps in time I will come to know my own kind as you have. And perhaps then I will decide for myself whether ours is a noble kind.
É bizarro ficar falando desses bonequinhos. É que eu preciso equipar a menina?
Recruits, that was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
Que é bom dar uma arma pra ela, né?
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir, no, sir.
O problema é que eu acho que não tem nenhuma arma pra ela.
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir, no, sir.
Só tem um barril de água aqui.
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir, no, sir.
Those folks that embarrass a bridge troll get to shining recruits.
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private?
Deixa essas flechas sempre com a menininha nova.
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir, no,
Dá
sir.
pra fazer umas flechas aqui.
Attention! About face! To the barracks! Not! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian
Quando ela caminha. Equipar ela agora. Aqui.
About face! To the barracks! Not! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew! Again! Attention! About face! To the barracks! Not!
As flechas.
Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew! Again!
Isso é bom, pôr o veneno. Poxa, bacana. Tem mais um personagem. Será que dá pra ficar com mais de 4?
Well, hello there!
Nossa, estão super aquecidos.
Did someone leave an oven door open?
Reclamando se alguém deixou uma porta aberta, mas a gente tá no céu aberto. Isso. Aqui. Fazer um teste aqui. Dá pra deixar cada um num canto do mapa. Posso trocar os personagens e vocês estão muito longe, eu não posso acessar eles. Acho que é a cena do crime. Eu entro por aqui. Tá todo mundo no... Ai, caramba, fiz tudo no caminho errado.
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not? The hero the whole of Syceal is abuzz about. The talk of the town. The juiciest grape on the grapevine. Such a pleasure to meet you. A delight.
Tá elogiando demais, alguma coisa tem.
No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is an intervention of fate. Yes, that's it. Fate, Mendius, at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and that is a man of medicine. But what does a man of medicine do but mend what has first been broken? I save lives. Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to become better. To become the full extent of the promise.
Of course I do. How could someone in my profession not?
Some could not because they are professionals, not adventuring daydreamers.
Clearly, two strong personalities stand before me. Two who voice their opinions with vigor when they differ. Too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right? The wage of a mere soldier.
Riches do not interest me much, actually.
Nor me. Wealth.
Oh, but I know you're just being bashful. I bet that in your heart of hearts, your eyes water with joy when you discover yet another treasure during your travels. Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice? To be a source hunter...
Parecendo conversa de vendedor aqui. Nada contra vendedores, mas tá parecendo.
It's better to lead than to follow. That much is true.
Better to be served than to serve, I concur.
Well spoken. Well said indeed. Life's too short, and that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door to the King Crab, so that I could meet you and tell you about the marvel that is the Fabulous Five. The invitation to join is yours. Grab it. Ah, the Fabulous Five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe you'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? Of course you would. And you can. Of course, if you still have questions, I shall answer them to the best of my abilities. What a gem of a question. Straight as an arrow. Now then, to join the Fabulous Five is to join a fellowship, to join a fraternity, a sorority, a community. Of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate the gospel of the Fabulous Five and thereby draw new knights into our... By now, the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has, hasn't it? But did I say fellowship? Work hard. Fulfill contracts. Enlist new knights and swiftly shall you rise through the ranks. You will better yourself. You will better Rivellon. You will make the stuff. Of course, of course, of course. All you need to do is sign this.
This Fabulous Five business sounds too good to be true.
Agreed. You
Oh, how frightfully disappointing. How illogical and short.
O cara tá me convidando pra uma pirâmide dentro do jogo. Uma pirâmide medieval. Bizarro. Vamos investigar o crime aqui, velho.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't open this door for anyone who hasn't received Captain Aureus' explicit approval. Not exactly the friendliest bloke, the Captain, is he? Well, your reward for getting your ear chewed off is a waltz through the town's finest magical murder scene.
O que aconteceu?
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone, somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
MS.
Terrible, terrible, terrible! It will consume us all! By the quill that lasts a billion words, what's this?
Sem palavra.
Two Rivellonians here? At the end of space and time? How very, very, very curious! Oh yes, 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 proper introductions. Zixex the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was, and is, and hopefully all that is to be. As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves, hopping to the end of time is as easy as 1, 2, 3. How you got here, though? That's a rather more interesting question. On such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time, I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow. Ah, at last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end of time. If that didn't send your heart into your stomach, a time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But something totally, utterly terrible has happened. Show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through yonder looking lens, and feast your soon-to-be terrified eyes on the darkness that is approaching.
It may be quite mad.
Then we had better appease him and have a look through the looking lens.
Bizarro.
You looked. You saw. Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal. It's... The portal has become active. Fantastic. Astounding. Onward we should go.
Tô achando que esse bichinho tá bebo.
You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something about your presence here is causing the end of time to grow. The true end itself to move further away.
Além de bebo, falou que meu personagem provavelmente é a causa do fim dos tempos. Que sacanagem.
Those torches, a light. This portal once more. It cannot be coincidence. Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been haunting my mind since I first discovered it. It is the void itself. The dragon that is devouring creation. When I speak of the end of time, this is exactly what I mean. I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it will devour the past. And it's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been waiting here, hoping that one day this very portal would ignite. Then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes. The chronicler of time knows a pattern when he sees one. Ah, though I cannot say for certain, if it is what I believe, then our prayers might well be answered. In fact, every last question that ever plagues your noggin might well be answered, for I believe what lies beyond this portal is nothing other than...
Fala logo, o que tá atrás do portal?
But why spoil the mystery? As soon as we leap through, we'll find out for certain. After you, after you. Oh, what wonders we may... You first, but don't dilly-dally.
O cara quer me matar, isso sim. Então vamos lá, né? Tem outra opção.
Yes, just as I hoped. There she is. There it is. Come, don't delay.
And he's off.
It seems the Imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
Ixi, que é isso?
He, milady, the weaver of time, mother of history, author of all that has ever been.
Indeed, Sir Imp, as surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have so many questions for you, so much to ask, so much to say.
You have brought guests, I see. Strange. Very strange guests.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you. But why? Surely you must know.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane? If any other being in Rivellon asked me about the details of their comings and goings, I could describe them down to the minutest of details. But you are different. Of you I see nothing. I know nothing. So please, do tell me, how did you arrive here? A stone? So... It was a stone that caused the great shock of energy that brought you here, and it infused you with new life as well. Is that so? Not like this, no. What happened to you is unique in all my work.
Bem, tudo isso pra falar que os personagens são especiais.
Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, had not expected. Life does not simply spring into existence, you see. But yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone. I now know it to be called.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not woven all that is and could ever be into your tapestry?
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, but their likenesses appeared not upon my tapestry until they revived the stone. Source hunters, it would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how, I cannot say, but I do believe that finding more stones will reveal to me who you yourselves truly are. Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry of time?
Mysteries of all time, gaps in history. Oh, how they've tormented me for eons.
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry. Thus, it restores time itself.
I see. What the void would shrink, Starstone restores.
Yes, though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the antidote to the void's ravishment of our realm. If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all. Indeed you must, though I may not yet understand why. It seems that you and you alone can unlock the powers within Starstone. Yet we are not the only entities who know these stones to be so much more than pretty gems.
Why, of course, that's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now I understand. They'd keep the stones from our reach.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble. Even this plane will fall victim to the voids.
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First we mend the tapestry, then we stop the void. Please, our most mysterious guest, are you ready? Are you willing? Will you hunt out the stones? Will you help us restore what has been lost?
I have the last chest, the last chest, the last chest! If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I do dare you to prove it! Find my 4 sisters, no more than one.
Bem, resumindo a conversa. Os bonequinhos aqui, esse aqui é isso, um gnomo, um impia. Ele conta a história e essa mulher aqui, ela, vamos dizer, ela tece a história. A famosa tapeçaria, né, do destino. E nenhum deles sabe o que meus personagens são. E basicamente são os únicos em toda a história que conseguem parar o fim do mundo. Muito bom. E para isso eu preciso coletar aquelas pedras que tava na cena do crime que me mandou para esse mundo bizarro. Tá, o que acontece aqui? Aparentemente não tem mais nada para explorar.
Suggest to me that you know with you searching out Starstone, but you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want to see what fantastic... Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back and forth from the end of time. Off you go, then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely there must be some clue here as to how on earth you're related to the end of time.
Cross my heart, hope to fade in the void, I honestly don't know. But ask her if she...
Like the imp said to the ballista operator, wouldn't it just? Would that I had a Starstone sightseeing guide, but alas, just like yourselves, Starstones are curiously absent from history. From what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago. The stones, ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dens you should frequent. 2 more pieces of... Neither do I, but the mere fact that activated Starstone has set the Weaver of Time weaving again more than implies that it and the Void... This in turn more than implies that you are the Void's natural enemy, for it is you who is setting new events in motion. You who is handing the Weaver new threads. And that which she is weaving is more than an ornament to decorate the shelter plane. It is both history and... We may not understand the how yet, but our aim is clear. We shall save creation from the grip of the void. Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission does have its perks. Old age can't touch me, that's one. Immortality is mine as long as... But of course I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to record all of history, and an arduous task that is. Not to... So, gather those Starstones so that we may know the history that was lost. No, so that we must not repeat what leads us to this dangerous precipice. Lonesome, observing the frontier of creation, surfing the vibrant tide of the eons. Well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain, but one certainly doesn't mind a bit of Perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the Weaver's acquaintance after all these years. I can hardly wait to pick her brain about the great battle. Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once you return to Rivellon, there will be someone... I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he can. A question has me stuffed, milady. Why are there...
How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest. I hope you begin to... In the ethereal threads of eternity, do I record the deeds of the drift of continents through changing seas, the rise and fall of empires, the shift of every grain of sand on every... Except, it seems, you. Ask, and I shall answer, if I can. I am the Weaver of Time, as I have told you. Though my existence is one that falls behind, and yet I am but what I am, and that is task. It is the same for the historian. Chroniclers, but perhaps we are one and the same. Task multiplied by 2. Who has made us? I do not know. Why have they done so? I do not know. Am I the beginning? And am I to be the end? Who shall say? Perhaps I am the first thing in creation. Perhaps I am creation. Perhaps I am the creator. Alas, the answers to those questions still elude me. You and Starstone... A hidden answer lies behind this veil of inscrutability, though. For the link... I believe that Starstones will not lead you to new places of wonder only. No. They will also lead... Oh, Hunter. I have no need for company. Like I have no need for air or appetite or affection. And yet, I do enjoy your companionship, for you may prove to become the cure that will heal my slipping soul. Quite so. Your absence, it should be an impossibility, but no matter where I look, you cannot be found. I do not know you, which makes you my one perennial imperfection, a blind spot in the eye of time. But perchance I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be undone, and time can be redeemed. What it is but a seed bereft of sun and water. What it could be, that is what the star stones will tell us. What it is but the end. I reside in another realm altogether. But ever since the end of time appeared in these deep dark skies, I materialized here, as if forced to watch the one thing that is unwatchable, unendurable. A thankless task that you may yet free me from forever. I think that perhaps you can redeem time, because you create time. Indeed, you have set in motion an event I no longer held possible. Know that no longer I did weave. I sat here at the end of time and watched on as the void frays the fabric of time like a terrified god that fears the offspring of his own creation. But suddenly there was you. You who stirred the life within the stones. These stones, children, new threads emerged, and I began to weave anew. Starstone gives me new strands to braid into the tapestry. And because you give Starstone energy, it seems that you are creating time. These Starstones, please, seek them so that time may yet be mended. Please, for the sake of all that lives and all that loves, seek them so that the void may yet devour it.
Ah, que legal, o bonequinho sentou aqui. E tem mais duas cadeiras. Talvez tenha mais duas outras pessoas ou seres para aparecer. E aparentemente ele me deu um poder. De transportar para onde eu quiser, aparentemente. Mas eu não sei de onde que... Aqui, ó. E aqui eu posso me transportar para o fim dos tempos e para qualquer portal, inclusive durante o mundo.
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice. I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zigzax, let us turn to the business at hand, and I'll be delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my firm belief starstones are the flies the sorcerer's spiders are trying to catch. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder and the plight of dying time must somehow be interconnected. That means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound to stumble upon Starstone along the way. While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the grande dame of time, I snuck into his house and had a look around. The advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent, though bloody murder may have been committed in their name. Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? A bed or a basket, but perhaps I speak only for myself. Not for veterans such as yourselves that by necessity call any patch of ground they rest upon. Like any cat worth its salt, though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. To be able to repose without a care is such a... Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. A pointless instrument. I'll not pretend to have all the answers, all that I understand, all that is happening here. If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the divines as nonchalantly as you and I. I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of Youthful Gore. He wondered aloud what on earth a cat was doing out there in the scorching desert. Then shared what... So I told him who I was and showed him my human form. He laughed, and in the end he even shared his great sorrow with me. The unspeakable thing you saw through his looking lens. I was awed and frightened. But before you go, here, take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy indeed that Zigzags asked me to give to you. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have misplaced it. Don't worry though. Use this one here and it'll take you straight to its twin. Now that this matter has been settled, hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of hunting too.
Bem, basicamente o bruxão ali é como se fosse um agente, um espião do contador de histórias do fim dos tempos. E ele vai me ajudar na descoberta das pedras, as pedras estelares, vamos dizer assim, que eu preciso achar para recuperar o tempo. E me deu esse item aqui também, que me permite transportar entre duas pirâmides e falou para eu usar. Vamos usar aqui.
Oh my gods! What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you?
Eita. Caramba, é meio tenso jogar isso daqui. Caraca, ele ganhou um monte de pontos.
Little mix-up indeed. I don't know what you and that horrible...
That's what you get for trying?
Out! No! If you please! Flowers stink much
This
longer.
room is
Dear will smell
private.
this lady from a field away.
I've got my eyes on the
I'll see the leg of
prize.
something good for when she begins to starve. You there! Cut it out! Don't just stand there. Go! Away with you!
Caraca, como que eu saio daqui?
What do you...
Consegui pegar o item, pelo menos?
Well, hello there!
Sacanagem do mago, me deixou no banheiro da menina lá. Bem, então os dois, pra que servem, não tenho a menor ideia. Mas, bem, por hoje vai ser isso. A gente descobriu um pouco da história aqui, que eu basicamente tenho que salvar o tempo. Acho que tem, nesse momento, o próximo passo é continuar a investigação da morte não é do prefeito da cidade. Mas bem, seja lá de quem for, ele tá relacionado às estrelas e provavelmente vai ser o primeiro passo. Às vezes vai ficar pra próxima semana, provavelmente, ou pro próximo dia de jogo de Divinity original, sim. E se você assistiu até agora, agradeço a companhia, agradeço a sua atenção. Se estiver assistindo no YouTube, dá um joinha aí. Se inscreve para acompanhar os próximos vídeos. A gente vai acompanhar toda a história aqui. A gente também tá com mais 2 séries, uma de Dark Souls e uma de Fable. Então, mais um incentivo aí pra você se inscrever.